My name is Friar Steve, and I am the keeper of the Green Guild. Born in California, parents divorced when I was a kid. Dad lived in Northern California, or mom lived in Southern California, dad lived in Northern California, blah, blah. And I spent most of my time traveling back and forth between two places. And after high school, I went to the military, and then I got out, went to college, got my master's degree, and went back in the military as an Army officer. I was in the Ranger Battalion, the 1st Airborne Ranger, and went back in the 82nd. Did my time, 3 years, got out, and came back to California to do casting for television, and then 9/11 broke out. So I worked for a company, a Halliburton company, and went over to help out in Uzbekistan, doing logistics for the U.S. military for a company called KBR. Great company to work for, did so much for the effort over there, and I was really proud to work for them. And I came back, started doing casting and some club stuff, nightclub things for a while. And that's when the Second War broke out, so I ended up getting a call to go work in Iraq, training the new Iraqi military. And so in 2004, I went to Iraq, trained the Iraqi military, and then in 6 months, I left when that program shut down. I went to Kuwait, training U.S. coalition forces deploying into Iraq for the election. And so that was a very rewarding time, training U.S. service members and knowing that, our training was saving military and soldiers' lives. So that was probably the most rewarding job I've ever had in my life. And I did that for a while until 2006 or so. I did that. I also worked up in Iraq as a U.S. contractor doing U.S. contract security, roadside security, convoy security. So I did that for a year with the company, and I enjoyed that. So I did that until December 31st, 2005. And for that new year, I was in Amsterdam. How ironic, huh? And so 2006, January, I was in Amsterdam, and I came back and started working in the U.S. for the Friars Club over in Beverly Hills. I was director of security for them. And I got named, there was a guy named Erwin Schaefer. He was the president of the Friars Club, the last president of the Friars Club. And I said, is there a secret ritual or anything? And so he showed me the handshake and says, this is what makes a friar. Oh, really? That's it? That's it. And I was officially the last friar of the Friars of Beverly Hills. Then they got shut down. They got in an argument with the East Coast Friars. So that's why I consider myself the Friar Steve for the Green Guild. And I started to, I went back and worked for the company again over in Africa after working for the Friars Club, the company I worked for before. I worked in Africa for the State Department, on a State Department contract, I should say, training peacekeepers to go into Darfur. I'd rather not say where we worked, but just different countries that were involved in that program. And that, too, is a rewarding job. And I left there in May to come back here because I wanted to find a way to raise money for my guys I was training. Here are these peacekeepers that go into Darfur, and, like the American peacekeepers get care packets, they get something from their families, but the African soldiers get nothing because their families are poor as it is, they're barely getting by. And here these guys are trying to prevent a genocide, and for a year they're over there, away from their family, away from their friends, and they have nothing. So I wanted to get some care packages for them. So that's kind of the thing I'm doing. I have a cannabis collective. It's strange how I got here, but nevertheless I'm here. And for me, any business that I'm in, I have a soldier's mentality. So I'm going to adapt to it, adopt it, and learn it and master it. And that's what I did with this. And I find in this business, if you let go and and give it your all, sua sponte, give it your all, it's a very spiritual aspect of it. And that's the main focus of it. And if you do it that way, it's the feng shui way. Things will go your way. Now, if you're greedy, if you're selfish, if you're out for yourself, you're going to find that cannabis isn't the route for you. You know, those are the guys who are going to have problems later on. Why? Because there's a karmic thing with it, is what I find. Now, that sounds stupid and silly from a guy, who pulls triggers for a living, but nevertheless, I found that that was the best path for success, so that's kind of the path I've been following. I don't want alcohol and cannabis to be associated together anymore. I think it's just the opposite, I think it was Bob Marley that was once asked, what do you think of marijuana? He says, marijuana relaxes the man. It puts him in touch with himself, lets him hear the voice of Jah, the Jah, or something along those lines. And then they asked him, what do you think of whiskey? And he says, whiskey makes a man drunk. So I've been reading tarot cards. I started doing it as a hobby, then it became an obsession. In the tarot cards, the very first card is the Fool. The Fool follows the spirit. Now you picture the Fool as he's walking off a cliff. That's how it looks, like he's out of his mind. He's just going wild, right? But he's not. The real deal is he's walking off a cliff, and as he walks off, a sparrow catches his foot. His next foot, an eagle, going the other way, catches his foot. And as that happens, another bird catches his foot. And he simply leaps across the air to the other side. How? He trusted the spirit. And so you have to be led by the spirit. This is what life's meant to be for the righteous. So to do cannabis, you have to be led by the spirit because it is so absorbed by it. That's when I realized that in order to do this properly, you can't be led by the spirit. So that's kind of how I live my life. And it's placed me right here. Interesting, huh? So, I love Hollywood. Let's go check out this spot. It's right here. So I don't know what this place is right now. It's a little cafeteria, cantina area. Behold the guild. Voila.